Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to Sports Today. The sporting calendar does seem a little bit empty right now because, well, domestic football around Europe is come to an end. The World Test Championship has come to an end, and as things stand, there'll be no proper Indian cricket taking place, international cricket that is, for about a month's time. Yes, the schedule for the West Indies tour has been revealed, but it does seem like there's a little bit of a lull period amidst the chaos. However, that is a little bit of an illusion due to the simple fact that the world of sport doesn't really sleep. There's still a lot going on in the world of sport, and to catch you up with some of the things that you may have missed out on whilst you were catching up on some all-important sleep, well, that's exactly what we're here to do in this video. So without any further ado, let's just get to what is making the news. The World Test Championship, as I mentioned, is over, but the fallout from it is very much continuing, and former India captain Sunil Gavaskar, writing in a newspaper column, has actually once again called out the Indian cricket team management for not playing one Ravichandran Ashwin, and he did so in pretty harsh terms, saying that he's the #1 ranked bowler in the world according to the ICC rankings. And I understand conditions coming into play because you thought that, there was cloud cover and there was a green top, but even considering that, would you drop a world #1 ranked test batsman if in the conditions? You wouldn't. So why exactly did you find it fit to drop your #1 ranked bowler? It just doesn't make any sense. And he also said that the mistreatment of Ashwin in this regard has been baffling. Were it not for him constantly being chopped and changed despite being a match winner across conditions and formats, then he would have probably played more than 100 tests for India. And again, it's hard to disagree with this statement, and in hindsight, it is seeming like a worse and worse decision to have not played Ashwin. Unfortunately, it is very much hindsight, so there's not much that can be done. Hopefully, the mistakes that were made this time, you will see the Indian cricket team learn from. Former India captain Saurav Ganguly had actually spoken in length with the India Today and Sports Today, Sports AajTak family, and in that interview, he actually, one of the key things he revealed, was, how Virat Kohli's captaincy ended, but he's also given a rather unequivocal backing to Rohit Sharma, albeit with a rather, let's say, interesting analogy. He said that when Rohit was brought in, you brought him in off the strength of the fact that he had won 5 IPL titles, and he backed him to come good, but also said that the IPL is a tougher trophy to win because you have to play 14 group stage matches, then play 3 playoffs potentially. So it's much tougher a tournament, and based on that experience, we believe that Rohit can actually become someone who wins tournaments for India. Now, I understand the logic that Ganguly has given, but more matches, do they necessarily make a tournament tougher, especially when the tournament is a domestic T20 tournament versus B, an ICC tournament, one with a lot more prestige attached to it considering the history and lineage of international cricket? It's a debatable thing for sure. You can tell us whether you agree or disagree with Ganguly's take in the comments. Now let's keep the news rolling. India's tour of the West Indies is set to feature a number of new look faces, at least in the T20I format. Now again, this is no surprise considering the fact that post the 2022 T20 World Cup debacle, there was a lot of talk about bringing in fresh faces, and that talk seems to be happening, and it's more a case of talk. They are really walking the talk. In fact, this time around, there's going to be at least 4 players who will be making either a debut appearance or a comeback into the side. So the players who have been reportedly considered for that, there's Rinku Singh, there's Yashasvi Jaiswal, there is Rituraj Gaikwad, Mohit Sharma, and even Jitesh Sharma as one of the players who are being considered to be called up for that tour for the T20I leg. Now again, given the kind of IPL the likes of Rinku, Jaiswal, Mohit Sharma, Rituraj Gaikwad, and even Jitesh Sharma had, not really much of a surprise, and there is an opening in many ways for a lot of these players. So with Ritu and Yashasvi Jaiswal, you have 2 very explosive openers, although it does seem likely that only one of them will start, given Gill seems a certified starter at this point. Rinku slots in the lower order if he gets a shot, and also adds a left-handed option lower down in the middle order, just something again India do tend to lack. Mohit Sharma, by the way, it's interesting because again, this is someone who's played a World Cup for India in another lifetime, or what feels like another lifetime. He's played a World Cup for India and is set to make an India comeback on the back of some very impressive showings in the IPL. Remember, he was the 3rd highest wicket taker, and it was behind only his GT teammates Mohammad Shami and Rashid Khan. Which is pretty impressive considering that in 2022, he was a Nets bowler with GT. He hadn't played in the IPL in a while. So whether or not this happens, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for, because again, exciting times for a lot of fans who have been calling for fresh blood in the Indian white ball setup. Switching our focus now from the world of cricket to the world of football, and Kylian Mbappe, the PSG star, has informed PSG that he would like to leave the club. If this seems like deja vu, that's because we've been over this entire saga all the way back in 2022 constantly. It was a never-ending saga because there was a will he, won't he. His contract was expiring. He finally signed a new 3-year deal, but that 3-year deal comes with a little bit of a caveat. What's the caveat? It was a 2-year deal with the option of a 3rd-year extension that was said to be triggered by Mbappe. The thing is, he's informed the club in a letter that he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to exercise the option of getting that extension in, which means his contract will expire in 2024, which means that he can either be sold in this summer or he will leave in 2024 as a free agent. Naturally, that means PSG are now looking to sell him, and it could mean that he will be leaving the club this summer itself. Considering the fact that he signed a 2-year deal, potentially a 3-year deal just 1 year back, it does seem like a very weird, let's say, U-turn, and it does not make the player look good. It doesn't make the club look good either. We'll be doing a detailed video on this in just a bit. For now, though, that's the news update in this regard. Further news updates coming from the world of international football, and Carlo Ancelotti, the current Real Madrid manager, has taken former club Everton to court. Again, there's no real details as to what exactly the reason is that he's suing the club, but what the only notification or the only information that we have on this is that it is for appearance and payment related issues. So that means it's something to do with money. It hasn't been resolved clearly, and that is why Ancelotti is going to court. It adds to it, to be fair, you know, I would understand being in that sort of a situation, you'd not want to go down that road. So if Ancelotti is, probably means that was the last resort, but it does add to the problems that Everton are facing. Remember, they just about avoided relegation by the skin of their teeth this year, and they're looking for new investors to help complete the new stadium that they are building. And more so than that, they are also operating in the red, having been hit with a fine or having been charged with breaching FFP rules. So not the best of times, and if they have to cough up a few million more to Carlo Ancelotti, it's only going to worsen their problems. In news more close to home, the Hero Intercontinental Cup is currently taking place, and Sunil Chhetris scored a winner to ensure that India beat Vanuatu in the second round-robin group stage match, and therefore ensured that they will also be taking part in the final, because there were 3 matches. They've won the first 2. They'll be playing the last one soon enough. But the interesting thing was what Chhetris did after he actually scored the goal. He scored the goal and then took the ball, placed it inside his t-shirt, and did the baby celebration, which means that him and his wife are expecting a child. So congratulations to the Indian skipper. It says a lot that 2-3 years on, with people expecting him to be starting to wind down, he's still performing at a very high level, still being the main man for India. But we hope and wish him all the best for that particular chapter. Being a dad is a pretty great feeling, I'm sure. Switching our focus now from the world of, let's say, football to sports beyond the realm of either cricket or football, we have a rather interesting one. The NBA championships have come to a close, and it is in fact the Denver Nuggets who have been crowned the champions. This is newsworthy for 2 reasons. Well, one, they've been crowned champions, but second, this is the first time ever that the Nuggets have won the championship. They've been a franchise in the NBA for about 47 years at this point, and that's a long time. And they have never ever won the NBA title up until now. So it's a pretty historic moment for the franchise. Congratulations if you're a Nuggets fan. It was in fact Luka Doncic who was the MVP in this particular final series. So congratulations to the Nuggets. Whether or not this is the start of a new dynasty in the NBA, that's something that remains to be seen, because American leagues are pretty flexible in terms of you don't have promotion, relegation. There's only about a cap, and every team operates within the same cap. So full credit to the Nuggets for finally breaking a duck that they've been waiting for 40 odd years to break. Last but not the least, Rani, Devi and Mirabai Chanu have been given permission to go and train in the US of A. The reasons being, this is an Asian Games here, and both of them will in fact be key medal prospects for India in weightlifting. Remember, they have previously done the nation proud by winning medals in Asian Games as well as the Commonwealth Games, and the hope is that they will be among the main competitors in the Asian Games as well, which is why they've been given special permission to go and train in America, get in shape and get in the best possible shape with the Asian Games looming. And that's it from us from this edition of the Morning Wrap with Sports Today. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we posted, and stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll be bringing you so much more that will be happening from the world of sport. But for now, from my side, goodbye.